help this meeting accomplish its purposes. And this is an information meeting. That is, I want to make it very clear from the beginning, the purpose of this meeting is to provide the people who've come to it with technical information about the landfill site, to provide it as efficiently as possible, as effectively as possible. You've got questions. The people who are sitting here on, this isn't a stage, will do their very best to answer those questions. And my function, I've had nothing to do.
Speak through the mic.
Speak through the mic? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
That's a good start. I've had nothing to do with this issue, ever. I admit I'm a lawyer. I have not been retained by anybody who's involved with this. My only function is to help this meeting work. So I want to tell you, I want to make some very quick introductory remarks that I would propose as rules for the meeting, which will explain how I seem to be behaving. And I want to tell you what will happen in this meeting, or at least what I hope would happen in this meeting. And my only function here, as I say, is to help the meeting, not to help anybody who is involved in the issues, promote their hopes, their views, other than to make sure that people explain things clearly where they have questions, and they're technical questions. Part of my job is to make sure people get clear answers.
Who are you?
Who am I? I've said.
You're in the microphone, Andy.
My name is Paul Williams. The people sitting here. Now, let me say something about the rules first, and about what we should expect. This meeting is going to be 2 hours long. The first, roughly half of it, is going to be a number of people explaining as well as they can the technical aspects of the landfill site. I know many of you may have heard some of this before. The second half of the meeting will be a public question and answer session. I'm going to ask you to recognize that this is not a political question and answer session. The county council is meeting starting at 11 o'clock, and that's where the politicians will be. I understand the county council will begin part of its meeting in a closed session, but it will be followed by a public session. So I would want to make it clear about what people's expectations should be about what's going to happen. You should know that up front. I'm going to do a minimum of talking here because I don't have much to say. The first rule, I would like to think that this is, I was told at the Museum of the American Indian of Washington that their intention was to create a place of civic engagement. And the first rule of a meeting that works is that people are civil with one another, that they're respectful. And you certainly are being respectful by listening to me now, so I'll be as quick as I can. As a moderator, I will seek to ensure that we maintain this level of civility. As a moderator, I would ask, because we have limited time, if people, when we get into the public session, the direct question and answer session, I would ask if you have statements to make or information to provide that's legitimate, but I'd ask that you keep it brief. I'm not going to interrupt you if I can help it. but I will make gestures asking you to please hurry up if you tend to go on. Here's what's going to happen for the next slightly under an hour. Rob McCullough, the Director of Environmental Services for the county, is going to speak first. Andy Hims, who works for one of the engineering firms contracted by the county, will speak second. Peter Brudzikowski will speak third. He's also an engineer. After that, the representatives of the Ministry of the Environment will speak briefly about their role and provide the information they can. I'm using language that's as neutral as possible, so you'll bear with me. The county has, I'm told, looked at the most asked questions from its website, and in order to kick things off, it's identified what it considers the 5 key questions. I'm going to ask them and let the people sitting up here with me to do their best to field those 5 questions, and then we're going into a public question and answer session. So, as I said, this is intended to, you're going to hear people talk for about an hour, and then we'll have a public question and answer session. That's as much as I've got to say. I'd like to hand over to Rob McCullough if I could, and he'll take things from here. Thank you.